Hey guys, welcome to Gamer Gaming TV. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about a new MMORPG that's coming out, and it is Ashes of Creation. The Dark Reavers, the DKR guild that I'm in, are pretty hyped for this game. They are excited about it and are looking into it. I have a few friends that are going to play it, so I think I might join them. I've been watching videos and looking at the developer stuff that they have been putting out. The devs have put out some good vids so far, and some good Q&As with a lot of questions answered, actually, to be fair. It is in Kickstarter at the moment. You can go over and check it out. If I remember, I will put the link down below for the website at Kickstarter. Now, I'm only going to go into bits of it briefly in this vid. If anybody wants more info, just let us know in the comments down below, and I'll start doing breakdowns of each section. Maybe one video every week or two about like guilds and the world and then crafting and stuff, and try and break it down bit by bit if I get enough interest, that is. So basically, it is going to be a huge world. The background is that centuries ago, possibly, or lifetimes ago, your people left the world for a certain reason, and now everything seems to be hunky-dory again, and these portals have opened up and you've started to come back to basically have a butcherzook and see what the crack is. So the world looks gorgeous, I have to say. The graphics look really, really nice. Think of a sort of arcade / Black Desert-y sort of thing. The clouds and stuff look gorgeous with the light coming through them and illuminating the edges and things like that. The water and all that looks really cool. And the big thing about this is the world's empty when you come back. There's no cities, no villages, NPCs, nothing. So what you basically have to do is, whenever you start coming in, the land is split up into sort of nodes of influence. So say like Ghost Recon Wildlands. If you look at that, there are zones for each part of the map, or even just Course 3. Think of them along them lines. So you will do things in that zone or node, like mining, fighting, killing mobs, etc. And that will add to the XP for that node. When it gets to full XP bar, it'll hit stage 1, and that'll be like a little camp. Each stage you go up, it'll get bigger. Camp, wee village, town, etc. I think stage 5, I think, is the biggest, which is like a metropolis, which is the dogs danglies of cities you can have. And there's only so many of these you can have per server. So this is where the node wars and that will come in. So, you know, there's maybe only 5 or 6 allowed per server, and there'll be a lot of zones from what I can see, you know, a lot of nodes. So if you're a guild and that want to get in there and get a node going and that, you know, people are going to have to fight for what it is, and certain things will be unlocked with certain nodes. You know, not every node's going to be the same. Certain quests, certain mob bosses, certain world bosses, dungeons and that are all linked to a certain node. So you can see the game having quite a longevity with this, especially if the devs have the ability to change things. So say a node's empty, it's been used before maybe, and it's had its butt kicked, it's been destroyed, and somebody else has built a node somewhere else. Maybe the devs could go in and tweak this node, change dungeons and change a few things over. Hopefully that'll be the case, otherwise it'll get to maybe a year and you'll have maybe done everything, you know what I mean? They do say it's going to take a long time to get these nodes up to Metropolis, and again, with the ability to destroy them and stuff, it's going to take a long time to do that as well. But it has potential, I have to say. The style of the buildings also depends on the races that are there. I'm not sure how many races there are going to be, but all your XP, that goes towards these nodes have a DNA marker, as it were. So the majority of a certain race will influence what the city and that looks like when it's built, which I think is pretty cool. Classes wise, it's a little bit like Rift. You'll get like a main class, and there you don't. There's a main class, and then there's like a secondary sort of class, but it doesn't give you more skills. It augments and modifies the skills you have. So, say the example I think they give is if you're a warrior, you have a charge, right? That charge, you would run up to the guy, kick him in the nuts, done. If you have your secondary skill as a mage, instead of running up to it, you'll teleport. So it's still a charge, it's just a different way of doing it. It's just a magical way, because of the mage part, rather than the warrior side. If you do warrior, you might run up to him quicker, hit him harder. They're all augmented ways of doing it. So that could be quite cool. I'm looking forward to delving into that, because I really liked the Rift class system, because you could tweak your character in certain ways. There probably will be cookie cutter classes, but with it not adding skills and just augmenting them, it will come down to how you play, I think, to be fair. So that could be really interesting. So I have a lot of gumph about each thing here, but I'm not going to go into it in great depth. As I say, there's other ways of augmenting your skills and that, with the religion and your status as a citizen and your guild stuff, and loads and loads of ways, but as I say, I'm not going to go into it here. Again, I say your nodes and your towns can go up in certain stages. There is housing. You can either have a house in the village. It has to get to stage 3 before you can have housing. So if you get to stage 3, you buy a wee house. Whenever the stages go up, your house will grow with the town. So your stage 3 house will go to stage 4. Anybody who buys a house at stage 4 will have a stage 3 style house. So there's different sizes, which is pretty cool as well. So if you're in it from the beginning, obviously you will benefit from a big house. If you're in it from stage 4 up to stage 5, you get a medium-sized house, while the one who's been in it from the beginning gets a huge one. You know what I mean? Like a mansion. Again, only so many mansions can be in, so many medium houses, so many small houses. And then there's like freeholding, I think they call them. So you can have a house around the area of influence of the city. And from the images I've seen and stuff, they're pretty damn big. So that's pretty cool as well. So the housing has a lot to look into. Again, that'll be another separate video if people are interested. They can be specialised in like mining or gathering resources, things like that. You know, they can all be specialised as well. There is going to be, obviously, a lot of you will probably want to know about the PvP and stuff. PvP is going to be, if I can find it on my sheets, PvP is going to be more, they want more strategy than gear based. So it's going to be more strategy skill rather than gear dependent. They want meaningful combat, so a reason to kick someone's ass. You know what I mean? There's not just to be a trolling little tit. There's going to be things in place to try and quit trolling and zerging. There is going to be things like a bounty system. So if you're a tit on a constant basis, you will get like a negative karma sort of thing. You will be able to get flagged upon by anybody, anytime, anywhere, by the sounds of it. So you'll be able to be hunted. Now, I don't know what you'll get if you're a bounty hunter and you hunt these guys. But the bounty hunting status apparently is toggleable with a cooldown. So you might be able to turn it on, find a guy, whoop his butt, get his bounty, and then turn off the bounty, and it might have like a day cooldown or something like that. I don't know. They haven't really gone into that much detail with it, but it does sound pretty cool. So if there's somebody being a jerk and constantly killing you or your friend, you might ask guild members, if there's somebody in that's being a prize pillock, can you come and get him? They can turn on the bounty system and search for him, and apparently he'll be shown on the map or something like that. So you can find him and whoop his butt. There will be death penalties in. If you do have this negative karma or whatever it is, you'll get a severe penalty apparently, which will make you pretty much useless. And then PvP and PvE stuff will have a slight negative way as well. But on the bigger picture of the PvP, there's going to be your castle sieges, your node sieges. There's caravans that's for trade between nodes at a certain level. They can be attacked and stuff taken and that, so you'll have to defend them. Guild wars are going to be in there, so guild versus guild. There's also going to be in-fiction battlegrounds and arenas. Arenas are going to have legacy points or something for PvP stuff like potions and things like that. But again, you don't have to specifically do one to be good at it. You know, you can just do castle sieges if you want, or just do caravan protection or PvP and stuff like that. You know, you don't have to do the arena stuff to get the dog's bollocks of gear, from what I can hear. This may change, I hope not, but it sounds good to me so far. When it comes down to the castle wars and node wars and stuff, there is going to be a declaration time. So your guild could go up to a node and go, right, I either want this or want to destroy it because I have another node I'm interested in. You give them the declaration, and that may, if it's like a village, stage 3, maybe a day or two to prepare to defend it. So the leaders will have a coffer. They'll have a certain set of money in from your taxes and all that sort of thing. You can maybe pay for some guards, pay for better protection, better walls, things like that. And that goes up for each stage as well. You can use resources and money to beef up the defences if you know you're going to get attacked. Something like your Metropolis, which is the top stage, we maybe have a week, 2 weeks before you will have to defend it. And that also gives the attacking side also time to get their offences ready, maybe catapults, troops, and organise when it's going to get attacked. So I can see these node wars and castle sieges and that being pretty damn big and pretty epic if you can get organised guilds on there to do this sort of thing. Again, the cooldowns are, I think he said, 10 times the length of declaration, if I can just find it. But that'd be cool. So say it might be like a week to get the declaration done, then you'd be looking at maybe even a month or so before you could attack it again, which is good. It gives you time to actually, you know, build up whatever damage has been done from the videos I've seen. And there might be someone in the background here, I don't know yet. You can actually knock buildings down and knock towers down and stuff, but I'm not 100% sure on what sort of damage you can do. I haven't seen much detail on that yet, whether you can knock down wall chunks and stuff, or it's going to be like set pieces you can destroy, I don't know. But I'm looking forward to that. The PvP and the node wars and that looks cool. I loved ESO for the massive PvP they had. I mean, it wasn't really open world, but that huge battleground they had. In the centre, we had to go around and take towers and castles and all that. That was fun. You know, setting up all your catapults and frigging ballistas and all that was awesome. And doing those big battles, I love that sort of thing. So fingers crossed they can do it on this. They have the server power to run it, and it doesn't lag the hell out of it. Guild Wars 2 had a bit of problem with that at the beginning. I'm not sure how it is these days, but fingers crossed they can pull that off. PvE wise, there are going to be, you can have a group of 8, or you can go into raids of up to 40. So again, they're going to have a big PvP. The gear we'll get to later on, but there's no PvE or PvP gear. It is just gear. But we'll get to that in a bit. So there's going to be PvE. Think of it of old school WoW, where in vanilla WoW you had mechanics to go by. You know, don't stand in the burny, flamey, gooey stuff. In 3 minutes he's going to do this. Get out of the way. In 2 minutes he's going to do this. Get out of the way. He's doing this move. You know, it's going to be mechanic based. So you're going to have to learn the mechanics, solve problems, and it's gonna. They're not gonna reward you for zerging the shit out of it. You know, world bosses and that will have mechanics. You're not gonna be able to zerg them. They'll probably have prevention things to stop zerging. Say maybe over so many players attacking it, it's gonna friggin' just annihilate you in one shot. I don't know, but they're gonna try and stop the zerg mentality and bring it back to old school boss fights where you actually have to think and solve a problem to be able to take it down, and then when you've killed it, it feels like more of an achievement, more than, yes, the masses have overcome the one, you know what I mean? It's going to be like, yes, we've done this, we are the daddy friggin' ducks nuts, we are the dog's bollocks, we've done this. So that could be really cool. Again, PvE gear is going to be equal to PvP gear, but we'll get into that in a minute. Dungeons wise, is sort of tied to the nodes as well. So PvE is tied to the nodes. Certain dungeons and that will be on certain nodes. So obviously with only so many nodes being able to be unlocked at once, that also depends on what PvE is going on, what dungeons you can do, and world bosses as well. Say whenever your nodes are leveling, it'll attract maybe different mobs. So say it gets to stage 4, bustling town. It's going to attract monsters from the forest or something. Depending on where you build it, again, the nodes of different regions. They're going to come out and go, ooh, there's life knocking about here now. Let's go and investigate, or let's go and eat these people, or whatever. So the mobs are going to change as well. Then say it gets to stage 5 or 6, or whatever the metropolis is. The example they give is there's a volcano down there. The hustle and bustle of the new town has awoken whatever inside it, having a kip. He's a little ticked off you've woke him up, so he's going to come and try and kick the shit out of you and eat and everything. So again, that is going to induce more PvE, more group play, and sounds pretty damn cool to me, actually, to be fair, because it's node based. So, you know, that node might have a dragon on it. You might build a town near a lake or the sea, and you might tick a sea monster off and he might come and kick your ass. You know what I mean? So hopefully that's going to give variety and replayability to the game and keep you playing and coming back for more. Now the gear is, there's no PvP or PvE gear apparently. All gear is going to be like an epic sort of thing. From what I've heard, there's no real tiers or anything to the gear. There's going to be dungeon gear, obviously, but you're going to be able to craft the same sort of gear, so it's not going to be like a gear grind, which is pretty cool. Well, I suppose there'll be a sort of gear grind, but it's not going to hinder you that much. All gear is unbound, so you can trade it, destroy it, or friggin' make something out of it. Your gear will degrade, break, and need repairing. But to repair it, you will need like crafting materials for that gear. So say it takes like 50 cloth, you might need 10 to repair it, something like that. So that's going to try and keep the economy going by still requiring materials to craft that gear to repair it, which is a good idea actually. Instead of using money, you know, because once everybody's got all the gear, there's not really much point in flipping farming this shit or making the cloth and all that anymore. So this is a way to keep the economy going, to keep you crafting, to keep the tailors making the cloths and that sort of stuff. So I think that is a really good idea, and that's going to be really, really cool. Again, we were talking about crafting. There's going to be mechanics in it that you can make a dog's dangly sword and get known for it. So the people like, here, Guyver makes a really good sword. It's got like maybe a good durability on it. It looks amazing. No, if you want a really cool sword, go and ask him. Give him maybe 10 G's and he'll do it, or whatever the currency is going to be. It's going to be core to your gear progression and economy, obviously, by crafting. Only stage 3 nodes and houses and that are going to be able to do the big crafting stuff. The top gear is going to be craftable and also drop from the world bosses and that, so you don't have to be a dungeon crawler to get the really good gear. You could craft it yourself, or you could know somebody who can craft it for you, which is good. You know, it's not, from what I can see, this game isn't forcing you to do one or the other or everything. It is basically saying, look, play how you want to play, you can still join in and have fun, and you know, just do it with your mates. All the boss gear can be deconstructed. You probably have to be a master craftsman or something to do this, and that will either give you the knowledge to craft this gear or the equivalent sort of gear. I don't know, they haven't gone massive into detail about that, but that sounds pretty cool. The crafting that I know about is gatherer, processor, and then your crafter, which is your item creator. So you can specialise in one of these three. And again, your housing and stuff can be specialised into this. So gatherer might have like a wee farm or something with windmills and that on to do stuff. Your processor's going to have smelters and that on, and then your crafter may have like big lathes or windmills to grind stuff, you know, that sort of stuff on. So it's going to look how it should for your profession. There's also going to be player-to-player trading, so it's not going to gate you that way. I can give you something, you can give me something. That is not restricted. That is cool. There is going to be, in the gathering sort of things for crafting and that, you can either do it manually, or there's going to be some form of NPC harvester or machine or something to do this. If your freehold house has a cracking node next to you, then you can probably build something to gather that for you, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I know about the crafting so far. The housing we've gone through a little bit. It's going to be large houses, large areas I should say, with your crafting stuff in. You can do the entire up, you know, have all your mates come round and have a drink and have a chat there and stuff. Again, not a massive amount of info on there, but there are videos out there with showing the different things. If I can find them, I will chuck them in here, hopefully. What else is there? Your character customization is apparently going to be pretty high in this. Again, it's going to be down to a lot of body modding that you can do, changing the shapes, faces, and all that sort of stuff. Your gear is going to be customizable, color-wise, and that. It is a subscription-based game, but they are going to have a cash shop. Still not sure how I feel about that, but it's only cosmetics, so it'll be a little bit like BDO, I suppose, for the costume side of things, where you can buy your costumes, probably dyes and things like that, and then and then also stuff like Christmassy outfits or Halloween outfits and things like that is going to be in there as well. But again, character customization has not been looked at a hell of a lot. Oops, sorry. So that is all I can go into on that one. If you just flick through my notes here to see what I'm up to. Guilds are going to be a big aspect. The guys who are doing this game are all gamers for many years and love the community aspect of MMOs and MMORPGs and such. So there are going to be guild wars. So that is going to be interesting. They didn't go into much detail of how these wars are going to start, finish, or things like that. I'm assuming it could probably be a declaration system like the nodes and stuff, whether you can accept or decline them or not, I don't know. There's going to be mechanics to encourage group play, so it's going to be like, you know, if you do this with your guild, you'll get maybe bonus XP for being in a group, things like that, or bonus XP for being with guild members. Obviously this is all subject to change, and some of this is just me thinking aloud because they've not given a lot of detail about it. There will be guild housing, that will be interesting to see. Guild skills, again a bit like BDO possibly, that will help augment your player and stuff. Large and small guilds are both viable apparently, so you know, you don't need to have a massive guild to be able to do stuff. Smaller ones will also have their roles to play. So obviously there's not going to be Zergy stuff. Teamwork is going to be needed for some of this stuff. You are not going to be allowed to multi-guild one character, but guilds are not account-based. So your main character could be in your main guild. So my main character might be Dark Reavers, whereas I may have an alt that is in another guild, but I might be a spy. They seem to go into it where, because there's Guild Wars not in here, you might want to do a bit of spying. So guilds, I think, are going to want to vet their inductees quite well, and it'll be interesting to see what goes on with that, because, you know, if you've got a character in there as a spy, you might not want the enemy knowing what's going on. And again, your guild, apparently you're going to be able to level your guild with achievements and all the skills and all that sort of stuff, which is cool. That's most of the topics touched. I'm going to go into the miscellaneous stuff now that I wrote down. So there's going to be apparently in-game VoIP using the Discord program. That could be cool. PlanetSide 2 actually did the in-game voice really well. Nobody seems to comment about this. There was no comment on it on the videos that I've seen about Ash's creation. They did it really well. You could have your platoon chat. You could have in-game just area chat, which again was distance related. Further away they were, the quieter they were. You can also do muting and stuff like that in the in-game chat. PlanetSide 2 did the best in-game chat I've heard for a long time with regards to actually controlling it. So that was pretty cool. I'm interested to see how Ashes of Creations do this. There's no factions, obviously. Everybody is whatever race. I don't know how many races there are going to be, but we will see. On the races thing, sorry, there's going to be 8 classes, by the way. And then obviously we're mixing the subclasses and that. I think they said there's something like up to 60 odd you can have with swapping and changing and faffing about. But I don't have that written down anyway. What else did I get for? Solo and group play is both possible. Again, sub-based microtransactions. It's going to be targeting / action hybrid. Not 100% sure what this is going to entail yet, but if I get more information, I will tell you. There's going to be pets. Whether they loot or not, we don't know yet. They're looking into that. Fingers crossed to do, or it's just an area loot, because picking stuff up from dead mobs is a pain when you can kill a lot at a time. There's going to be no pay to win in this game. There are not going to be cash shop whores apparently, which is good because pay to win games is getting really annoying now, and it's time to change how they do things, to be honest. With it being a sub-based game as well, there's apparently going to be quite a few character slots you can have. So they're not going to give you like hundreds, but they're not going to give you too few either, which is cool. There will be a weight system for carrying stuff, but it's not going to include currency, which is good. It'll just include obviously your gear, your potions and all that sort of stuff, but not currency. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Let's see what else is there. There's not really going to be fast travel. Apparently you can go sciences or something with your towns and villages. There'll be a sort of fast travel with that, but the nodes on what they are depend on where they are. So military nodes might be near a dangerous area. Sciencey node might be between something else, you know. So that is going to be a thing, and also a reason why you maybe want the node. There are seasons in this game as well that look gorgeous. Again, hopefully, if I've got the video running in the background somewhere, you'll have seen the seasons already. They do look really cool, and will add real variety to the world. Obviously, there'll be no roads when they first start playing. They will develop as the nodes develop, so that's going to be quite cool as well. So there's no real track to go whenever you first start. What else will there be? Again, it's going to be a player-built world. Very detailed from what I saw in the videos. It looks really nice. There's going to be loads of stuff to discover as you wander around the world. So it'll be interesting to just wander off in a direction and see what you can find. And these discoveries may change. I think they hinted at the possibility of, say, an update comes. They've patched something, added maybe a new zone or something like that, I don't know, but they might go in there and actually change the discoveries that were in a place, so it'll keep you wanting to explore and see what you can find. That will be very cool. Excuse my phone there. So yeah, everything that I've read and listened to so far and seen is making me hyped. You know, apparently they're going to have good lore for this, but they're not telling anybody yet because they don't want to ruin it. So, everything is going to be, that I've heard so far, has got my interest. I will be looking into it and hopefully playing it with some of the guys. It is interesting, looks good, they are singing the right song with their ideas and what they want the game to be. And again, if you have any questions or comments, chuck them down below and I'll answer them and reply to them as quickly as I can and the best I can. If you like what you see, please give us a thumbs up, people. And keep an eye out for more coverage. If I get a bit of interest in this, I may try and find out more information about each section and go into it in as much detail as I can find. And even see if I can get some info off the Ashes of Creation guys themselves, which is Intrepid. So yeah, again guys, thank you for watching. I have been Gavy Gaming TV. See you around.